Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakaatuh. I am Muhammad Toa Ahmed and this is Shia Islamic Media Ghana. I hope you are feeling good and may Allah keep you healthy and strong. We are continuing on the rights and responsibilities of children towards their parents and vice versa. We wish to inform and educate on the rights and responsibilities one has as a child towards the parent and vice versa. The third edition of the already mentioned topic, and this time around we are doing it with Mr. Sufyan from Islamic University College, Ghana. It's one of the topics which has been neglected in our communities nowadays, but plays a vital role in our daily lives. So you can't miss this. Stay with us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله حبيبنا حبيب الله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أصحابه الأخيار. Brothers and sisters, I say to you, Assalamualaikum Warahmatullah ta'ala Wabarkaatuhu. I am privileged and honored to be a guest speaker on this August platform. And I have been asked to say a few words on the rights and responsibilities of a child towards his or her parents, and the rights and responsibilities of the parent towards the child. This topic is one of the topics or one of the issues that have been relegated to the background, have been neglected by our community, and as a result we face many challenges, especially in our family system. The family structure is broken down, and I believe one of the reasons for this problem or for this challenge is that we don't know our rights and responsibilities as children and parents. So I believe that these few words that I'm going to share with you would sensitize all of us in observing our rights and responsibilities towards one another, especially children and parents. I wish to begin with the rights and responsibilities of the child. Why? Because most of the time in cases where rights are being discussed, we tend to neglect or ignore the rights of the child. So I wish to begin with that. And the rights of the child begin right from the conception. Okay, when the child was conceived. Okay, when the mother has an issue, that is when the rights of the child begin. And most of the time, there are certain actions that parents do that infringe on the rights of the fetus in the womb. The father, for instance, may sometimes, some fathers, not all, some fathers abuse their wives who are pregnant, and as a result, this abuse may affect the child emotionally. Okay, it may affect, and it is the right of the child or the right of the fetus for it to be treated well. Okay, because if the father or the husband abused the wife when she's pregnant, it may affect the child when the child is born psychologically. Research or psychologists have shown that most of the violent people that we have in our societies inherited that trait when they were in their mother's womb. So let us observe the right of the child or the right of the fetus when it is in the womb. And then on the mother's side too, it is not everything that the mother should should be taken when she's pregnant, because it's the right of the baby or the fetus in the womb to be given or to be treated well. Okay, so the mother needs to take, good food. She shouldn't take any kind of, medicine, unsubscribed medicines, because this may affect the child, especially those who take alcohol. Okay, you could give birth to a child who is an alcoholic. So many alcoholics have been, they trace their history back to when they were in the womb. So let us observe these rights well by treating the fetus in the womb, because that is where the right of the child begins. So when the child is born, okay, one of his rights is to be given a good name. So let's give our children good names. Names, as all of us are aware, carry spirits in them, so to speak. Okay, so any name that you give to the child may follow the child. Okay, what do we mean by name? Name is a kind of a wish. You are saying a wish to the child. So when you give birth to a child, give him a good name, a good wish that will follow him throughout throughout his life. The English people have a saying that good name is better than riches. So it is the responsibility of the parent to give the child, the newborn baby, a good name. Bad names actually could affect the child in future. Why don't people give or name their babies after bad people that we know in history? Names like Pharaoh, Satan. Why don't we name them with those names? It's because we know that these people were bad. So therefore, when we give our babies that name, that spirit of the name may follow them. When we were growing up, stories were narrated to us about young children. Actually, whenever they were playing, some of them pick certain characters. So, for instance, the young girl amongst them will say that she'll be a wachesela. Then the other children, the young boys, one of them will say he will be a driver. The other will say he will be a mate. The other will say he will be a business person, and then the other one will say he will be a madman. And lo and behold, when they grew up, each of the characters that they chose for themselves manifested in them. So those who the young lady who said she will be a watch seller became a watch seller. The young man who said he would be a businessman became rich, very wealthy, and the young man who said he would be a driver became a driver, and the other who said he would be a mate became a mate, and the young child who said he would be a mad man became mad. So you see, names follow us. So let's endeavor to give good names to our children. We have today's couples, especially the young couples, they tend to divide names. They say we have modern names and old names. Okay, in Islam we don't have modern and old names. Okay, we either have bad or good names. So let us not be deceived by these kind of modern names, because some of these modern names they are not Islamic names, even though they might sound Arabic. They are not Islamic names, because not all names are Islamic, even though they are Arabic. There are some names which are Arabic and Islamic, like Muhammad, Ahmad, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein. These are Arabic and Islamic. There are some names which are Islamic but not Arabic, like Ibrahim, Sulaiman, Musa, Isa. These names are Islamic but not Arabic. And there are some names which are Arabic but not Islamic. So let us be mindful of that. I remember someone gave his newborn baby a name which is Arabic. It's a new name. I've never heard of it before. So later when I did my research, I realized that the name, even though it's an Arabic name, but it's not Islamic. Okay. So it's the right of the child to be given a good name. And our Prophet has advised us, okay, in authentic traditions, he gave us recommendation of the names that we may choose for our babies. And he categorized them actually. So names that have Abdul attached to the attributes of Allah are the best of names. Names like Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Rahim. These are the best of the names. Then the second in the list are the names of prophets and Siddiqin or Masumin, like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Isa, Ibrahim, or Ali, Hassan, Hussein, Fatima, Jafar, etc. These come in the second in the list. And if you are so much attached to modern names, okay, why not also consider our local names? You have good local names. You can pick from that, okay, which are actually meaningful. Okay, so let us be mindful on the kind of names that we give to our children, because it is their right to be given a good name. Then the child also has the right of good shelter and maintenance. Okay, a good shelter, we should have a good shelter for the child. We know where the child lives. I know economic situation may make it difficult for some people to have a humble accommodation, but it is far better to know where your child lives, even if it is in a single room, than to allow him to live outside your premises. Okay, and then with regards to maintenance, let us not leave our children to fend for themselves, especially the girl child, because most of the time parents do leave their girl child to fend themselves. And when we do that, we actually are asking them to go wayward, because they will go outside and ask other people for money. And when that begins, you yourself, you know the trouble that may arise from that. And another right that of a child that we must observe is to give him a good education, be it Islamic or secular. Okay, Islamic secular education is good, but I will emphasize on Islamic education here. Why? Because these days we tend to neglect Islamic education. And if you give your child a good Islamic education, it's not only to the benefit of the child, but to the benefit of you, the parent, as well. Why? Because from my observation and my research, I have realized that if a child has a good Islamic education, the tendency of him disobeying the parent is very minimal. Okay, if you go to you can also observe it yourself. You look at the children who disobey their parents. Most of them don't have good Islamic education. They don't have good Islamic background. And then the parent too. One of the benefits that you get from giving your child a good Islamic education is when you pass on, the child will pray for you. The child will pray for you, remembering you. At least he will recite a good Fatiha for you, and the reward will reach you in the grave. So Islamic education is equally important. Let us not neglect that aspect of the education. Okay, it is the right of the child to be given a good Islamic education, and the child also has a right on you, the parent, for prayers. Dua. As a parent, you should be praying for your child, especially in this our modern day. Bringing up a child is quite a huge Herculean task in this social media era. Okay, so if you don't help our children with prayers, the children may fall into some situations that we may regret in future. So let us help our children with prayer, especially in the midst of evil eye. Today there are so many evil eye in our midst. Some especially young couples, when they give birth to newborn babies, they may want to post those pictures on social media, which is actually bad. There are so many evil eyes, and when you say evil eyes, a lot of people think that only bad or evil people have that character, evil eyes. Even good people may have evil eyes. If you post something good on the social media, even if a good person sees it and he exhibits some form of hasada, okay, that hasada may follow that post. So let's be mindful. In fact, in other jurisdiction, when you post a baby's picture and the baby grows up and finds out that you have posted his or her picture or photo without his consent, in other jurisdiction, the child may sue you. Okay, there are laws that allow the child to sue the parents, but of course, as Muslims, we will discourage that. We will not encourage children to sue their parents. Whenever a parent makes a mistake, the child should always forgive the parents, because there's more reward in that. I would like to end this first part, and I would come again in the next video. Thank you for listening.